Bienvenidos and welcome back to Puro Pinche Gol, the place we discuss all things Usmnt y la selección mexicana. My name is Adrian. Joining me once again, my co-host Tocayo, Adrian. Adrian, what's good, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Back in Austin, Texas, after 5 grueling hours driving back from the valley. But hey, and catching Copa America and the Euros on my phone. So don't watch Copa America and drive. I'll tell you
Uh,
that much. But yeah, nice to be back and just excited.
yeah, man, we just finished watching the conclusion of Costa Rica Brazil. What a result for Costa Rica there. A Costa Rica team that is currently, leaving behind its older generation, that older generation of Brian Ruiz, Keylor Navas, etc., and getting in a new, younger generation, which we didn't expect much from them. But here they are, got a point to start Group D for them. And, they might be thinking now they could maybe possibility get out this group now. I mean, who would have thought that before this tournament started? But not here to talk about that match. We're here to talk about the Usmnt. Day late here for us. Apologize, but we're here to give our reactions to that match against Bolivia. Ultimately, Usmnt ended up winning 2-0. The man, why don't you go through the starting lineup for the Usmnt?
For sure, man. So again, I think we were pretty much on point with the predictor roster that we mentioned during our preview match. With Matt Turner at the helm of the goalie, we had Joe Scally, Chris Richards, Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson. Nothing changed from the last match before the Copa America started. Weston Mckennie. Here's the biggest change: Tyler Adams instead of Yunus Musa, or Johnny Cardoso for whatever name you want to put there. Gioreyna, and then the top three, the regular ones: Tim Weah, Folarin Balogun, apparently taking the lead on the striker position, and then Christian Pulisic on the other wing. So that's a solid 4-3-3 formation for Triple G, something that we've seen plenty of times before.
Yeah, and it's a pretty easy formation to guess at this point. I think he's pretty much settled on maybe Balogun here as his go-to, at least until he really drops a stinker. He got a goal this time, a pretty decent goal there, so at least that'll give him confidence moving forward. But a 2-0 win could have easily been a 4-5-6-0 win for the USA. They never really were troubled. They had a couple go over the bar pushed over the bar by the Bolivian goalkeeper. That's a Pepi shot. Then Pepi got saved point blank. Couple Balogun shots, couple Pulisic shots that could have maybe gone in. Ultimately, a solid, easy night for the USMNT, which we expected against the worst team in CONMEBOL. I think they're definitely the big talking point is that USMNT's got to be more clinical. You have this team when you score in the first 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You expect them to go on and dominate, which they did, but you expect them to maybe, if you're scoring the first 2 minutes, at the end of the score, you're expecting a 4-0, at least 3-4-0, victory. But their lack of number 9, I guess the lack of a number 9 currently in form, or lack of number 9 that adapts well to this Triple G 4-3-3 system showed again, and that lack of decisiveness in front of goal, that lack of finishing in front of goal, led to this small 2-0 win. That ultimately, man, they're gonna have to fix that if they really want to. Maybe not against Panama, though. We know Panama can play the low block. That's going to be hard for the USMNT to break down and score. I think that's going to be maybe a really 1-0 win, maybe a 2-1 win, but against Uruguay, against whoever they play in the next round, they're going to have to find that finishing touch, and it's something that to this day still remains elusive to them.
Yeah, and that's the a good segue to the comment that you just mentioned is this also it's yet another opportunity for us to realize that Triple G has yet to find the answer for the number 9, right? On this match, the gun, Folarin Balogun, scored, but it doesn't mean that he had a stellar performance on this match, right? I think regardless of his goal and how decent or how well he played, how well he's meshing with the team up front, I don't think Triple G found the answer after this match, whether Balogun should be the go-to striker or the starting 11 number 9. If anything, I think this allows winning this match allows Triple G to maybe experiment a little bit against Panama. Based on what we saw of Panama against Uruguay. Nothing to discredit the Panamanian team. I think they are very solid and they have improved for the last few years. But I don't think it will be a huge challenge for the USMNT, and Triple G can afford to maybe put someone like Hajiwright at the very beginning, or Folarin Balogun after 45 minutes if they're winning the match comfortably, right? And test out Pepi, test out even Josh Sargent, just give him some minutes so he gets back in the rhythm of being match ready. But yeah, this is something that the USMNT needs to work on a regular basis. They need to find what is the best way to increase the success rate of their finisher inside the box, and also, just becoming more more accurate on their shots on target, right? Because they had 20 shots on target. Sorry, 20 shots and only 8 on target. So yes, they thoroughly dominated the match, but 20 shots and only what, less than a half on target doesn't really says a lot.
Yeah. And, yeah, like you said, they dominated the match. They had 61% possession at the end of the day compared to Bolivia's 39, almost double the number of passes, 518, and Bolivia's 342. But what really stood out to me, which obviously has stood out to me in the past, but I don't know, for some reason, I noticed it more in this match. The lack of Serginho Dest, how different this team looks without him. They would always, I guess, split it. 60% of their attacks would come from the right side, which is Dest and Tim Weah. Maybe 40% of the attacks came from the other side, Pulisic and Anthony Jedi Robinson. Here, Scally never goes up. He never, he maybe once every 10 times he tries to go up. It's always just playing that through ball, long ball to Weah, having Weah. Man, Weah, I think, is so critical to this team. He's so fast. He opens up so many of the defenses, running down that flank. The USMNT really definitely is feeling that loss of Serginho Dest, I think. Maybe not on the defensive side, but definitely going forward. He would give them a lot more options going forward. And we know Serginho Dest is not afraid to take a shot from outside the box. So there was that. I think most of the attacks came through Anthony Jedi Robinson on that side and Pulisic. So I don't know, just a thought. I don't know why that came, as I was watching this match, that came to me. I was like, man, this team really missing Serginho Dest for this tournament. It's unfortunate that he's not here.
It is unfortunate. I mean, and we have discussed this in the past where Joe Scally is a great player, but he's not offensive minded. He's not offensively talented, right? And this is something that we have mentioned previously. Like the things, the gains that you get defensively speaking with Joe Scally are gaps that you're going to have on your offensive transitions, and it's just been shown. I mean, if you look at the games against Colombia and Brazil, yes, you are absolutely right. Most or the bulk of the offensive transitions that the USMNT goes through come from that side of Pulisic and Anthony Jedi Robinson. And I'm not too sure if it's because Triple G understands that Joe Scally lacks that attack-minded knack, right? And he just tells him, hey, you know what, dude? Don't even worry about it. Just focus on defending. Or if Triple G is just afraid that he's going to get smoked if by any chance he's just, a tad bit ahead of or, behind one of the, or I guess in front of one of the strikers or one of the wingers, right? Because again, he's not the fastest defender. He's solid. He's a solid defender. He's good. He's not too bad. Every now and then that he goes on the offensive, he doesn't do that bad. But there is a huge gap between Serginho Dest, I guess, supplied for the attacking transitions of the USMNT, whereas Joe Scally just being an additional defender for the backline.
Yeah, no, he's a solid defender, but he just, like you said, lacks that going forward. But yeah, I mean, comfortable win at the end of the day. If I'm Panama, I'm gonna be targeting that left side, or that I'm gonna be targeting defensively that Pulisic, Jedi Robinson side more so than the other side because they go forward more, and I'll be targeting, like we said, Scally isn't the fastest. Maybe balls, over Scally to try to get opportunities at goal there if I'm Panama. But that's going to be I think it's going to be a lot more complicated of a match than you think, man. Panama has improved a lot. They played well for a good, 3/4 of the match against Uruguay, and then ultimately, the floodgates opened. But they got a goal against Uruguay, and I think it's going to be a tougher match than we give Panama credit for. But I still think USMNT comes away with the end there, and I think if they win, most likely they're in already with 6 points. So USA hopefully gets that result against Panama. But I think the big talking point, Adrian, was that half-empty AT&T Stadium with only 47,000 fans, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's listen, I don't think Dallas is a market for the USMNT. I don't think Texas at all. It's a market for the USMNT. We all know that the USMNT's fan base, the biggest fan base, is located in the Northeast. Around Ohio, maybe Colorado, Utah, perhaps. But Dallas isn't necessarily I guess a hub for the USMNT Outlaws, right?
And it's an American football city.
Exactly, and on top of that, it's a huge stadium. It's a 100K plus capacity stadium. What would you put the USMNT against Bolivia? I would get it if it was the USMNT against Brazil or the USMNT against Colombia, Argentina, right? Then it will get packed. But what business does the USMNT have playing in Dallas on their opener of Copa America? I just don't think it makes any sense whatsoever. But this isn't the only match that has a low attendance, right? You saw it against Venezuela and Ecuador. It was pretty much a half empty stadium. I think the only ones that have had like a huge crowd has been the opener match with Argentina. I think this Brazil against Costa Rica was also packed up, and then
Colombia.
yeah, Colombia and Mexico. It's like it's very just a few of them are actually quite packed. I mean, I think the whoever organized it, the freaking tournament thought that they were probably going to bank on the fans just rallying for the USMNT. But I think they would have done a huge favor if they just put them on a MLS stadium, right? I think the ambience and the people would have been way more on the USMNT side, or it would have just felt better for them if it was, for example, at the Q2 stadium here in Austin, where it's a 20,000 some capacity stadium. It's way smaller, but you can pack it with USMNT fans for sure.
So yeah, I think I agree with you. Dallas isn't really the best market for the USMNT, but I think they still could have gotten a 60, 70K easily had they priced the tickets reasonably. The nosebleeds were going for like 90, $100 for the
Damn.
nosebleeds. The ones in the middle section were going for like 200, $250, and then down in the A through Z section, the bottom, they were going for like 300 plus bucks. I mean, who's going to pay that? They still got 47,000, of which probably 42,000 were USMNT fans. It was way more USMNT fans than Bolivia fans, but what I've been seeing on a lot of forums, I've been seeing on X, on Instagram, whatever. It's that it's just everybody's priced out. It's just crazy prices that you don't see in South America. If Copa America were to be held in Brazil or somewhere,
Yeah.
Colombia or whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
This is they did it here for money. They're getting money, but I think they would be getting a lot more money if they half the price and filled up the stadiums. But no, definitely expensive tickets are playing a huge factor in some of these empty stadiums for sure.
And you know what's crazy? I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and she was like, "Hey, I wanted to." She's from Colombia, and she was trying to go to the Colombia match in Houston. She was like, "They're a little too pricey," and I was like, "Well, I looked up the ones for Mexico against Jamaica in Houston, right? And I saw that there were some tickets going for like $70, $85, and to me that was cheap compared to other matches that we've seen where they go for like either twice or the cheapest one is $120. I'm like, right, 85 bucks is not that crazy, but then going to your point is maybe I'm just jaded or I'm just used to these prices here in the States where if you want to see even La Selección Mexicana with a all Liga MX team is gonna ding you at least $80. You consider that to be like, all right, that's actually not a bad price, but in reality, it's actually quite expensive.
Yeah, no, you've
Yeah.
gotten used to it, man. Too much time here now.
I know.
But nah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we see as the tournament progresses, more stadiums with better atmosphere. But at the end of the day, USA got the win, comfortable win, easy win. They're gonna be happy that 3 points, sitting second place behind Uruguay on goal differential. But yeah, they play Panama next, so keep it hero
Mhm.
PPG. We'll be doing a preview for that match as the week goes on, and be doing a preview for the Mexico match as well against Venezuela
Yes, sir.
later this week. Yeah, man, as we wrap up this episode, bro, we're gonna listeners find us, dude.
They can always find us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notifications. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast on. Last but not least, you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. We post memes, latest news, and shorts of our episodes.
Yeah, make sure to follow us and let us know in the comments below what were your opinions on USMNT's performance against Bolivia. Did you think it was a solid performance overall? Were you worried about the lack of finishing there for the USMNT? What would you have changed in the starting lineup? Or tactically, if you were Triple G there, let us know in the comments below. We definitely like interacting with you guys. There, man, another good episode. See you next one, bro.
Always a pleasure, my guy. Deuces.
See ya.